Okay, so looking over second and third hour and a little bit of fifth hour's first claims, the thing that I'm impressed by, and a large part of why this works better, is that we did our narrative unit first. So you all are giving good topic sentences. You're introducing your ideas, and then you're giving evidence, and then you're explaining that evidence in the first claim. Overall, the claims that I see, that's what I'm seeing, is that you're giving your topic sentence, which is just simply what you're going to talk about in that specific paragraph. If it's complicates, it's the reason why it's going to complicate, and then you start giving evidence to support your idea. Then you have to explain those ideas to the reader. Do not leave any mystery for the reader. You don't want them to try to figure out what you're saying. You want to just tell them what you're saying. You want to draw a picture for them. The thing that I want you guys to dodge, and it's the part that I keep seeing overarching, don't use phrases like, I believe that. In this essay, I will. My first claim is. You can just eliminate those phrases and use what you're going to after that. It sounds more fluid. I already know it's your opinion because that's what an argumentative essay is. It's also the fact that an author is writing it, so I know it's your opinion. Now, the difference between just stating an opinion, like you would in like an op-ed piece or like you would on Facebook or on any other social media, is that I'm asking you to provide evidence. So you have an opinion. It is now a valid opinion, okay? Because I've given you the opportunity to tell me that valid opinion, right? And you've done research out of sufficient and relevant information. So today, you're working on your second claim, your second main body paragraph. The part that I want to spend some time covering, again, is to show you how to do an in-text citation so we have another review. Is there anyone that wants me to take a look at one of their in-text citations to make sure it's done correctly? Or is there anyone that needs help with an in-text citation and I'll do it for you? You got one, Natalie, that you can think of?
I don't know if I did one per se.
Okay, do you have evidence in your essay?
State where I got it.
Okay, so let's take a look
I don't know.
and see where your evidence might be. Evidence will normally stand up because it usually has a kind of a different sound than what you normally write with. And it also, in this case, will probably have numbers in it. Now, a couple things I can tell you right now. This is already bigger than 11-point font.
Yeah, that's I can't read it. So.
Okay, so you're going to shrink it down after. Okay, fantastic. That's fine. Okay, so let's take a look at one way that she did an in-text citation. Okay, it says, in your phone can wait. First thing I'm going to do is add a comma in here. Okay, because you do have a quotation in there. Actually, no, in this case, you won't need one. It's just a title. In your phone can wait, which is a title we used, correct? That's something we used. Says that having your phone in hand or a phone holder is the most distracting thing. Okay, so just a little bit that as we're reading through, that you can have. I'm going to get rid of that you can have while you are driving. Okay, so we'll tweak a few things here. So there's the benefit you have. Now, she used the title of what she was referring to in her sentence. Does she now have to do a parenthetical citation at the end? Maddie says no. Jake said no. You are correct. We don't need a parenthetical citation because I've already cited the work in the text. Now, she does it later on again within distracted driving. It says that even drinks can be very distracting, considering that you will have, you have to reach for the drink. I'm going to get rid of one of these will haves. Now, The distraction is good with the phone, okay? You're going to have to explain how the drink relates a little bit with how this can complicate, because I think what you're trying to say is that the technology is the car you're driving, so you need to be focused on the car. I would spend some time at the end of your paragraph stating that what you're looking at is the technology you're using is a car, and you need to be responsible with the car. And so that's what you should be focusing on, not the other things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think once you do that, you have now told us how it can be complicated, that we get distracted by other parts of technology instead of focusing on the important technology. Okay. Let's see. Now, you have social media and technology also complicates the action of adolescence, because while on your phone scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, your brain releases dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter, which is a naturally released chemical that causes. Okay, good. Now, you'll have to clean this up a little bit, so I won't do that for you necessarily. Now, I know for a fact that this is from one of our pieces of evidence, right? Do you remember which one you got this from?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need to go back to your Word Web to find it? Okay. And I know that because, Natalie, do you normally use words like dopamine and neurotransmitter in your conversations?
No.
No. So I know you're getting this from somewhere else. I just need to know from where. Okay. This isn't right now. This sits as plagiarism, but we're going to fix the plagiarism, right? By citing where we got it from.
Wow, citing evidence is a good way to avoid it.
It is exactly what we're doing. If you cite where you got information from, it is not plagiarism. Now, I will tell you, if you only take information from somewhere else and you still put a little citation from down below for your answer for your question, it's still plagiarism, because you can't just copy and paste an answer and say, well, I did the work because I went and researched it. That's not using your resources. That would be cheating. In this case, evidence needs to be provided to provide evidence for work. Does that make sense? Okay, so I know that this came from one of our videos, and it came from our TED Talk youth, from Indigo, what's her last name? Mbeve? Someone check number 20 and make sure that I've got that last name correct. Somebody check number 20 for me and see if I have the correct name.
Already on it.
Oh, Mudbari.
Yeah.
She's Indigo Mudbari, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that the one it came from, or did it come from the first one with impact on social media on the youth?
No.
It is Mudbari? Okay. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have the right last name, right? And it's Indigo in... No, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have my parenthetical citation. I need to make sure that I get that information on my Word Web, so I remember to use it in my bibliography. We haven't gotten to the bibliography yet. I know we've done a citation for each one, but we'll get to a full page bibliography at the end. Now that I've cited this, have I dodged plagiarism? Yes. I've cited where I got the information from. Now I can go on to say, while on your phone, the brain recognizes the activity and starts to get excited and causes addiction. Now be careful, and you're not the only one. Just the initial impact, it doesn't cause addiction, it causes joy. Dopamine causes joy. And then once you have that joy in your brain, you keep seeking more of it. Does that make sense? And then that constant seeking of joy can become an addiction. Does that make sense? Just the initial impact of feeling joy is not addictive. It's the seeking of that same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so just a point of clarification. But 2 cases where we see that she used citation correctly up above, and then 1 where we had to put an in-text parenthetical citation. Okay? Questions about how we do that? I will also tell you that she did a good job of using the title with these 2, because in the title or with these 2, we don't have an author's name. So you have to use the title. Now, if I were to say in the TED Talk, what's the name of the TED Talk for number 20? Technology, Teens, and Taking Responsibility, Indigo Mudbari, that would be a full text citation, okay, that you have the title and the author. If I only have the title, I then need to put the author at the end, okay? There's nothing you have to add to that dopamine one except clarifying the way addiction works, okay? All right. I'm going to turn you loose for a little bit. I will interrupt you about halfway through class with something else. You may.
What is that?
But right now, you have time to work, so take advantage.